Right off the top, I don't want to see Brett Favre in purple and gold. He always belongs in green and gold. How you doing, everybody? I'm Chet Coppock. Welcome to the Daily Coppock as we decipher, we break down the games people play. Word on the street via the Associated Press. Favre has told the Minnesota Vikings that he will retire because of problems with his left ankle. Frankly, I'll believe it if Favre is not in uniform on opening day of the 2010 National Football League regular season. That being said, over the years, Bears, Green Bay, there have been 5 defining figures in this rivalry. George Stanley Hallis, Curly Lambeau, Vince Lombardi, Mike Ditka, and number 5, without question, Brett Favre. And right now, hey, if you're CBS, if you're ESPN, if you're NBC, if you're Fox, aren't you falling all over yourself in an effort to sign Brett Favre to a brand new contract to make him, what else? A TV analyst. The continuing adventures of LeBron James and the city of Cleveland, not to be compared with Joni Loves Chachi. Today in the ever-popular Akron Beacon Journal, LeBron has taken out a full-page ad swearing his allegiance, saying he will always come back to his hometown of Akron. Now, what about Cleveland? What about the plain dealer? No runs, no hits, no ad. Due at least in part, you can take this right to the bank because LeBron James right now probably thinks Cleveland Cavalier owner Dan Gilbert is nothing but dirt. And who could blame LeBron? Because keep in mind, Gilbert is the guy who called LeBron everything but a communist when the King made the decision to take his act down to Miami. All right, this is no more than 15 years overdue. Jim Delaney, commissioner of the Big Ten Conference, a guy who redefines the word dull, is finally talking out loud, talking aggressively about a Big Ten championship game. In fact, mark your calendar. The game will likely take place, the first ever Big Ten championship football game in 2011 after Nebraska has joined the Big Ten to give the conference 12 ball clubs. This will be a made-for-television bonanza. Now, what will the players be played? What will the players be paid? Nothing. Let's keep one thing in mind. They are nothing more than cattle. They are nothing more than meat on the hoof. All right, flick time. Rounders, one of my all-time favorites. It works on so many levels. Here is one that I don't think anybody ever really talks about. The two characters, the two primetime characters, Matt Damon, Edward Norton, both tough, both street kids in their own way, yet both very, very vulnerable. The film is marvelous. You throw in John Malkovich as the badass Teddy KGB, along with John Turturro, a dramatically underrated actor. This is really a fabulous scene. Here is Matt Damon playing the role of Michael Montgomery as he walks into the judges' game. The lesson to be learned here in this scene, when you play high-stakes poker, as much as you play the hand you're dealt, you play the man.
What's the limit? $20. Big bet's $20. Okay.
That's 20. You've seen half the hand. How the fuck are you betting into us?
You sure this is wise, Abe? It's your money the kid's betting with.
That's plenty wise. We know what we're holding, and we know what you're holding.
The fuck you know what we all got.
Summer clerkship in your office says I know what you're holding.
I don't bet with jobs like that. Let's just say I'll put you at the top of the list if you're right.
Okay. Well, you were looking for that third 3, but you forgot that Professor Green folded it on 4th Street, and now you're representing that you have it. The DA made his 2-pair, but he knows they're no good. Judge Kaplan was trying to squeeze out a diamond flush, but he came up short, and Mr. Eisen is futilely hoping that his queens are going to stand up. So, like I said, the dean's bet is $20.
Well, kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass.
What'd you have, man? Nothing but a busted straight.
Oh, come on.
It's good enough to win.
I love that movie. All right, now follow me on this one. Pro football 40 years ago was much more rough than it is today. However, today's game significantly more violent. Now, you go back 40 years, for example, spearing was a way of life. The chop block was a way of life. Quarterbacks were treated like punching bags. Now, the National Football League is going to make a very bold move to try and protect its athletes. Athletes that, once again, are nothing more than meat on the hoof. The league is going to have all 32 member football teams place signs in their locker rooms warning players about the significance of head injuries. Isn't that marvelous? Hey, you talk about a pro football player who's out at the midfield stripe during the course of a football game. He has a chance to lay the wood, lower the boom. What's the last thing he's thinking about? You got it, a head injury. The National Football League really doesn't care all that much about its ball players. I've been saying that for the past 30 years. I'll say it again today. They are checkers on a checkerboard. You can look it up, a little bit of music history. Hey, who says we don't play the best right here on the Daily Coppock? Who says we don't reach out and go for class? You can look it up. 14 years ago today, the ever-loving Macarena was #1 on the charts. Who didn't dig the Macarena? You want to know what? You talk about lousy timing. I was in Puerto Vallarta when that song was at the apex of its popularity, so every day while I'm lounging around the pool, I had to watch fat ladies from New Hampshire do the Macarena at least 38 times. It's got to be inch for inch, pound for pound, one of the worst songs of all time. All right, it's that time again, boys and girls. Settle back, here we go. Fat guys shouldn't be dancing at halftime. Very quick, very short, very sweet today. Why is Chicago a boxing graveyard? This town, which back in the 50s was a haven for professional boxing. All the great names fought in Chicago. When was the last time you recall seeing a boxing match in Chicago that really intrigued you? The answer is, it just doesn't happen. Who's been the most engaging boxer to come out of Chicago over the last 10 years? Probably that big Polish kid, Andrew Golota, who is best remembered for being disqualified twice for low blows against Riddick Bowe. Chicago? I have no idea why, but it is just a boxing graveyard. All right, this is so classically square. This is taken from the Mike Douglas show. It goes back to about 1967. You know, the 60s weren't all about Woodstock and Altamont. It wasn't all about Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, the Airplane, and the Grateful Dead. Check out the fabulous Electric Prunes doing what is really, really a great rock and roll song called I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night. All right, game, set, and match. We are a wrap. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Let us know your thoughts, pro and con, about the Daily Coppock. Hey, we want your feedback. We're doing this show for you. Gosh knows I'm sure not doing this show for money. Again, we want your feedback. Let us know on Facebook what you think. Until then, hey, how do you like the song so far? There they are, the fabulous Electric Prunes. See you tomorrow. So long, everybody.